from the home of Major League Soccer's best team, LAFC, right here in downtown Los Angeles. That's right, it's Banc of California Stadium, and it's time for another episode of LAFC Black and Gold. I'm your host, Mark Rogandino. No, don't adjust your TV sets. I'm in for Max Bretos, and everything will be just fine. You know these guys, all the way to the far end down there. He covers the team on the Spanish side. It's Francisco X Rivera. Está en casa hoy. Yes, he is in the house today. And then from LAFC.com, you can't forget Vince LaRosa, always having a good time with us and happy to share some thoughts about the black and gold. LAFC has been rewriting headlines all season long so far here in Major League Soccer. So I thought I would start with you guys and writing a couple of headlines. I'll start with you first, Francisco. Through 5+ months of the season, how does it read for you?
Well, the team is spoiling us right now. They're on pace of crushing too many records, goals scored, goal differentials, points. And we're forgetting that this is an expansion team that we've only been around for a year and a half, but it won't really matter because, as I said, we're spoiled and we're expecting the best of the best from this team. So if we can go all the way down to the MLS Cup, I'm still going to be disappointed.
Vince?
I'm going to go history in the making.
I like it.
Just keeps going, rolling and rolling. Goal differential, goals for, even goals against. Let's not forget that this team is very good defensively. So just more and more history as we keep going along in the season, and I think, to Francisco's point, some silverware.
If it's me and I'm writing the headline, I'm saying the best still yet to come, right? Because they have done so much here in season 2, but yet you look at what is the possibility and what is on the horizon as we continue to write chapters here in 2019. It's going to be interesting to see the way it plays out. Because LAFC has been so good, it seems like they have a bullseye on a target on their back every single time they step out onto the field. And consequently, we've said so many times, whether it's on this show or on other places for coverage, we talk about what's this month going to be like? What's the challenges coming for LAFC? Well, you look ahead to August, Vince, and it's a tough schedule. What's going to be the toughest part of August for you for LAFC?
I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path here. I don't think it's a team. I'm going to say the weather. The summer months, this is a team that basically predicated on tempo, press, being energetic. When you think about the summer months and the heat just coming off that, it wears teams down, and they've already come so far to this point that, you know, with their fitness, it's really going to be a challenge to live up to the levels that we've already seen in these first few months.
I like that because that's thinking outside the box a little bit. I wasn't expecting an answer like that. How about for you, X?
I'm going inside the box. I mean, it's very obvious. It's a galaxy. I mean, it's becoming a mental, it's becoming a psychological kind of hurdle to me. I mean, when you look at a derby match, it's supposed to be intense. It's supposed to feel like close, tight. But at the same time, it doesn't have to feel like every time the Galaxy has the ball, in their attacking third, they're going to score. And to me, that's how it feels. And also Ibrahimovic. Is the league being too lenient on him? If that's the case, one of our guys is going to need to step up, be physical, and let him know we're not going to let his shenanigans fly anymore. Now, it's easier said than done. You look at the last game, only 9 fouls, 2 against Ibrahimovic. So we're going to need a much better way to control him, or at least, you know, if not neutralize him, at least control him somehow on the physical side.
I'm going to piggyback on what you said, Francisco, because I think, yes, it is the Galaxy that is going to be the biggest challenge in the month of August, with the game coming at the end of August and an opportunity for LAFC, you have to say it, little brother, to finally get over on big brother. I mean, you can play that out in so many ways, but I agree with you. It is a bit of a mental thing right now for LAFC not getting past the LA Galaxy. If they can get over that hump, it's another first on their list of first, and I think it could be great for the rest of the way heading down the final stretch of the season.
No arms going San Jose? The hottest team in the MLS right now?
Well, or you could say New England, who was also part of the August schedule. They're one of, and that brings in your weather argument, because playing out there outside of Boston, you never know how hot and humid it's going to be. It might read 89 as the temperature, but with humidity, it's probably something like close to 100.
At least it's not December, right? Like a Patriots game.
Hey, who doesn't like a nice day in December out in the Boston area? I digress. Let's go to another topic here and talk about the fact that now that LAFC has been knocked out the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup, and I'll start with you, Francisco, it's a focus on 2 things, the Supporter Shield and an MLS Cup trophy. I think this might benefit them in the long run because you can narrow the focus, right?
Yeah, but let's take it step by step. I mean, let's look at the most immediate thing, which is then again securing that first spot, home field advantage. And, you know, to me, that supporter shield is so important in so many ways because, you know, then again, it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And, you know, I get so sick of talking to media in Mexico. I love my peers, but a lot of times they look down on MLS, right? And it's obvious because
They
results
still do?
haven't been there. I mean, and I'm so tired of justifying why MLS is not doing so well in international play. It's, pay structure, salaries, scheduling, you name it. But I think right here, right now, LAFC can hold their own against America, against Cruz Azul, Tigres. Next year in the CONCACAF Champions League, they can rewrite history for MLS. And yeah, it's great. This team is going to win a lot of local tournaments, a lot of leagues, whatever. But thinking globally, I think, you guys cover a lot of European soccer as well, is the way a lot of teams, think and focus their energy on.
Vince, I think adding to that point is the fact that no MLS club has been able to do it for so long when you're talking about CONCACAF Champions League. So if LAFC, just in their second year, not only get that berth in there, right, as the Supporter Shield, they get into the CONCACAF Champions League, but then they go on and do some damage, that would certainly make headlines, as we've already discussed some headlines here in the program.
Yeah, I mean, I know plenty of supporters that they really want to be that first MLS team to get over the hump. So they're just waiting for LAFC to pick up some silverware and get in, qualify for the big tournament, the CONCACAF Champions League. But I like Francisco's point. It's one at a time, and I think one thing that's very important is let's not lose sight in how big the Supporter Shield is, just in general. I mean, we talk about European leagues. Teams like Barcelona, teams like Man City, teams like Juventus, they all want to win the Champions League, but you know what they say first and foremost? Win your own competition. The Supporter Shield is very important. It is the best team in MLS. I don't care what happens in the playoffs. The Cup is a one and done. These types of tournaments are not the best team, it's the hottest team. Now, over the course of the 6 to 7 month grind in MLS, if you're the best team and you're setting history the way that LAFC is, I think we got to celebrate that more. And I think I'm going to say that that's MLS's fault for not making as big of a deal of it is, but maybe we can be the first team to show that this is a big deal.
Francisco, quickly agree. More emphasis, more weight on Supporter Shield than hoisting the MLS Cup trophy.
Well, then again, you're going to have one less thing to worry about, which is home field advantage. I mean, things are just going to solve themselves out, I think. And, I want to see who's going to be the brave team that's going to come to Banc of California Stadium and win during the playoffs.
I think we all can agree. We would love to see Banc of California Stadium sold out and LAFC playing for the right to win an MLS Cup trophy late in the season. That would be fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, we're off to that kind of start here on LAFC Black and Gold. When we come back, we have so much more to get to.
How awesome is this?
This is awesome!
This is the coolest sporting event in LA. In the summertime, beautiful night, all these people, big party, doesn't get better. Get to come with my son. I'm gonna bring the whole family next time. It is a big party and it doesn't stop. It's awesome.
Stepping up his man, the shot, goal! 3-1 LAFC!
The energy here is unmatched. It's electric. These people party non-stop. It's all about LA.
It has become a bit of a fortress for LAFC as they continue their hot form at home inside Banc of California Stadium. We bring you inside the LAFC locker room as we continue the conversation here on LAFC Black and Gold. Francisco X Rivera, Vince LaRosa, Mark Rogandino here with you. Guys, I thought we'd do a little game here. We like to call it fill in the blank. I wish again I had my long mic. It's time for a little bit of fill in the blank, and we're going to start here with okay. Beating the LA Galaxy is blank. I'll start with you, Francisco.
Getting that huge monkey off your back. You know, this team has been very criticized for not winning those crucial matches. But you know, after some games in July against Houston, against Atlanta, I think you forget about that loss against the Galaxy and focus more on that energy from those games and that performance. I think you're going to be able to change not only physically but mentally as well, and finally be able to get that notorious win against your arch rival.
So that's a long blank, getting the monkey off your back, but it does fit in the space. How about for you, Vince?
We don't have any supporters in here, do we? I'm going to go with is not the ultimate goal.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, guys, but it's just
big
not.
picture. I like it.
It's just not. And I understand, you know, we look at teams like Barca, Real Madrid. They're happy to beat that other team twice and lose the league as long as they beat their rival. But guys, the bigger picture, this is a team in its second year. We need history. We need silverware. I understand that beating the Galaxy is important, but at what cost? Do we have to change our whole game plan to beat the Galaxy? I would hope not. But at the same token, you want to just play your game. You want to say, that's just another match. It's 1 of 34. And I think that's kind of what they need to have in their head. I don't think we need to keep harboring on the fact that this needs to be the ultimate end-all be-all of the season.
And so this is the beauty of you guys getting the opportunity to watch us have this type of discussion. We don't discuss anything before we go to tape and start to roll and give out our answers. So I actually am at the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I say beating the LA Galaxy is essential, is how I feel in the blank. And I say it because your point is really, really valid, and it makes me think, maybe I got it wrong here. But I think that you do this and it's just one less thing you put off to the side. Now you're like, hey, we've already done that. And then your focus is on the bigger goals, a supporter shield, an MLS Cup trophy, on the silverware like you're talking about. But I think this is gonna be a mental block, and if you don't get it out of the way, I think it could make the road through the rest of the season a little more difficult than it should be for this team, which, as we know, is the best team in Major League Soccer. Aesthetically, the way they play, when this team is healthy, I mean, it's got all the pieces, but you got to get past that one hurdle, so I say it's essential. Moving on, and this one will be interesting. Here it is. Carlos Vela will raise the blank trophy. Now, of course, there's a lot of options, Vince.
The Golden Boot, the MVP trophy, Supporter Shield. I mean, you just want to just line them up. The only one we know for sure he's not going to lift is Open Cup, sadly. But Carlos, as this team goes, as Carlos goes, this team goes, should I say.
Sure.
And so if Carlos is the MVP, I believe that all the silverware is going to be coming with it. I actually, at the start of the season, didn't believe he'd be Golden Boot winner and didn't need to be. But he seems like he's just going to keep finding goals wherever he can, and that's just going to keep bringing the team forward.
Carlos Vela will raise the greatest player of all time in MLS history trophy by FX. I know it doesn't exist. I'll be happy to go make it and present it myself whenever he wins the MLS Cup, because that's what he will get, to be honest with you. No disrespect to Wando, to Landon, to Cuauhtemoc, to Beckham, but at the same time, you look at what he's done in a short span of time, you know, the quality, the touches, the goals, the stats, leading by example, the way he's led a team in just a year and a half, what he's done to take LAFC to another level, and also the cultural impact that he's made on the Mexican-American community here in Los Angeles. It is just incredible. So then again, the only thing missing for me to go make that trophy and give it to him, because I know, Vince, you like to be involved in everything, but if you let me take
That's
that
fine.
one, please.
Although I gotta say,
the MLS Cup.
Just by the way,
Can we remove?
what does that even look like? What is it? Does it have Francisco's face on it? And then now Carlos puts it.
An X, maybe.
Okay.
But let's remove Cuauhtemoc Blanco from that conversation. He's a fantastic player, an idol, someone to look at, but I can't have him impact off the field. He scored, I think, 11 goals in MLS.
It was short. It was
Yes.
short. It was his time with
But the
Chicago
bunny
was
hop,
very short.
I'm all about it.
All right.
For me, I actually just went with one, and I said the Golden Boot trophy. I think that there's no doubt that Vela is on track, and I think he's going to surpass that mark that Joseph Martinez set for a single season scoring record. He's going to go, I expect him to get to like 34, 35 goals, and obviously that's going to get him the Golden Boot, unless Martinez, who can do it, he explodes as well in the second half of the season. Next one, LAFC's strikers will combine for blank goals than Carlos Vela, X.
Less, but that's
Just less.
No
numbers
on anyone on our attacking line. I mean, you know, that's just a testament to the great work done by the midfield. Kay, Blessing, Atuesta, always getting Vela in qualitative positions. He has to rely on a lot of guys like Vedasher making that pass behind him, you know, pulling Markin off him, Dio doing the dirty work. Now, along those lines, you know, I've always said, and I'm not shying from my position, that this team needs a center forward, that's gonna, you know, come back and hunt you in the playoffs. But at the same time, yeah, Carlos Vela is your guy, and if he has to score in bunches to take us to the title, I'm all up for it.
I'm going less, but with a little bit of a different methodology here. LAFC has wide forwards, not wingers. 2 wide forwards in Diego Rossi and Carlos Vela, who have 34 goals combined, more than 15 teams in MLS right now. So basically, you don't need a center forward in the way we play. We have wide forwards. We have 3. They're a group. They're fluid. They move, this and that. So as much as Dio and Christian are somewhat underperforming, if you think of them more in the Bobby Firmino mold, the Liverpool kind of idea with Salah and Mane on either side, you don't necessarily need them to be that much as scoring as long as they are part of creating chances fluidly. And I think that's where we kind of shy away from some of the analysis sometimes.
Well, I agree with both of you in that, yes, that number will be less, stating the obvious here. But I was going to go a little more narrow in the scope, and I was going to say 15 less, that kind of a number, right? So if you've got Vela, as I said, getting to 34, 35 goals on the season, I think that group of Dio, Fito Zelaya, Christian Ramirez, I think that group can get to a number of 20, combining those 3 players together, and that would be success.
It's another 9,
to your point,
8 or 9 goals, right?
They don't need to score as many as Carlos Vela, but if they can contribute as a group that type of numbers, I think Bob Bradley and the rest of LAFC would be pretty happy with what the end result is going to be come the end of the season and in the MLS Cup playoffs. All right, we hit another break here on the show. When we come back, so much talk about everything that's going on offensively, but don't forget LAFC has done their work defensively as well. When we come back here on LAFC Black and Gold, our own Max Bretos, that's right, he is part of this episode. He sits down with Steven Beitashour and Jordan Harvey, the 2 outside backs, to talk everything LAFC.
We're back here at the LAFC Performance Center. I am Max, and we are here with Jordan Harvey and Steven Beitashour. Welcome back to LAFC Black and Gold. Gentlemen, you know why you're here together, right?
I don't know why. Because we do a podcast together?
No, because you're the 2 older players here, and we're just have some.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 of the older players. Experienced.
I thought we were 2 of the younger guys. Most conditioned.
Also fullbacks here. There's a lot that connects you two. And Jordan, something that you said about playing for Bob stuck with us here on LAFC Black and Gold, and said that the younger version of Jordan Harvey would have struggled in Bob's system. So I want to ask you, Beta, how would have the younger version of you done in Bob's system?
How young are we speaking? That's the question.
Whole career ahead of you.
Let's say first year might have struggled. I think second, third year I start to pick things up, so I would like to think that I can fit in, listen to his system, and try to implement all those things that he talks about.
Oh, good answer. It's very complicated, but as you, Jordan, now at the point of your career, how's Bob's system rejuvenated your playing style?
I think that with other teams, maybe we didn't have necessarily a distinct identity, and it's refreshing to have a way of thinking, a way of playing that is day in, day out, that does not change, and to be able to work towards different goals along the way. That's why it's kind of rejuvenated me.
Harvey with time. And Blessing! It's beautifully done by LAFC. And the assist goes to the oldest player on the pitch, Jordan Harvey.
Hey, you guys are pretty busy in addition to the field. We've seen you with the podcast, beta time, TV appearances. There's a lot of demands on your time, certainly with LAFC, a lot of cool stuff you get to do, and you get to put yourself in front of the camera. Is that something that you would entertain, that you do after your playing career?
I think something that we're doing, like our podcast, back to back, it's a lot of fun because we don't have to go running around. We don't have to go be on our feet a lot. We're sitting down talking on the mic. It's really simple, but it's fun.
You do it in a hot tub.
Doing a hot tub, you know? You can do it in a hot tub. So things like that, I think it's entertaining for us, and who knows, maybe it does translate into the next part of our career, which, you know, people ask all the time, hey, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be a coach? Are you gonna stick with soccer? So I think we're leaving all doors open.
From distance, Atuesta going left foot inside. It's gonna be 2 for the LAFC, and they get it to go! It's Beitashour!
All right, I'm going to put it out there, and look, LAFC are head and shoulders right now in the standings of everybody else. Bona fide MLS Cup contender. How much does winning an MLS Cup drive you guys?
I mean, it's our biggest driving force this year. I think you've talked to multiple people about, yeah, you won this many games in a row, you beat this team by this much, and guys, they don't care. I think at the end of the day, all people care about is MLS Cup, holding that trophy on the final day, winning that final game in the playoffs, and that's the most important thing for me. I know for Jordan, for everyone on this team. You know, last year's loss didn't sit well with us, so I think there's a reason why we've been on this good run, because guys are so motivated.
No losses, I think, sit well with us at all. I mean, there's some that stick out more than others, but you know, we've only lost a handful of times this year, and you know, each and every one of those is dissected, and we're trying to improve on each and every one. And so winning trophies, it's all that motivates me.
But how do you like that? Great recovery there from Jordan Harvey.
Does it change anything that you've won one before, that your outlook, knowing that you've got that, but your legacy?
For me, yeah, I've won Supporters Shield, MLS Cup, whatever, but at the end of the day, if you have multiple championships, if you have multiple trophies, you're always on a winning team. People remember that. People remember your legacy. They're not gonna, you know, remember this or that, like if you made this much money or if you got individual awards. People remember those MLS Cups, those trophies at the end of the year.
I see you guys. You're having a great time. You've known each other. You were teammates with the Vancouver Whitecaps. So having had that experience as teammates, is it good to have him along for the ride? Does that help you in your day-to-day, that familiarity?
There better be one answer.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And I think going
you guys
back,
are good friends.
Yeah, but going back to all the things, the time management, the longevity, the preparation, the recovery, it's infectious. And so having him as my roommate, having him to talk about different things, bounce things off of, really helps moving forward and helps you kind of stay sane through kind of the chaos that an MLS season brings sometimes.
Obviously, our 2 years in Vancouver, we hit it off right away, just because we have similar mindsets. We both are hardworking guys. And then when we're roommates on the road and we're talking about, you know, the game and, you know, what can we do to help our team win this game? You know, sometimes, you know, we have to be unselfish and like, okay, maybe we're not going to look great at this moment, but we're going to win. And then we talk about recovery, we talk about, you know, nutrition, all that stuff. And you essentially, you're making each other better. And I think that's how we get along so well.
And I think we're honest with one another, especially on certain games. If I've had a bad game or a good game, like he will be real with me, and I know it's coming from a place of trying to improve, as opposed to, you know, trying to be down on someone. So I think all of those things combined really help each other.
Great talking to you guys anytime. My door's open if you need any tidbits in the industry post-career.
Appreciate it.
Good.
Hey, yeah, keep it open.
All right. Stephen Beitashour, Jordan Harvey, LAFC Black and Gold will continue after this.
Just having another great afternoon talking everything LAFC from right here inside Bank of California Stadium, and specifically the LAFC locker room. Vince, Francisco X Rivera, Mark Rogandino back here with you on this episode of LAFC Black and Gold. To catch more of Steven Beitashour and Jordan Harvey, just as Max Bretos had the chance to sit down with them, make sure you check out their podcast back to back. Vince also has a podcast, Inside LAFC. And of course, you can find mine, LAFC versus LA Galaxy, on the Believe Sports Podcast Network. Now we got that business out of the way. Let's get to what people really want, and that is the social media showdown. That's right. Warming it up, warm it up.
Cue the music.
Cue the music, please. I will go first this week. You know, I always find that whenever I'm here with you guys, we like to keep it a little bit lighthearted, right? Like something that's going to and I'm one of those guys that if I get on a video string of fails, whatever kind of fails it is, I will watch them over and over and over with my son. So I found this one, man versus wall, right here, with the hashtag soccer fails. I mean, what is this guy thinking? Like, what is he trying to do? He's 4 feet away from the wall, and he instep drive off of his shoelaces, and of course, right back in his face.
That's not me, by the way. It looks a little bit like me. It looks a little bit like one Laurent Simon a little bit.
It does, right?
I feel bad for him, bro. I want to like it, but I feel bad for him.
So you guys want to scroll or you want to like? That's the big question here.
I'm gonna scroll because I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I'm with you. I'm gonna scroll, but I feel bad for him.
X, you're with me.
I'm gonna give you a half heart just because I like you though, and I like you doing your research and getting us that video. But at the same time, poor guy. I mean, you know, he must be feeling. I don't know if more humiliated than, you know, painful at the same time. I don't know what he feels like right now.
Well, and you also have to think about, of course, I like it. You have to think about, is it his friend who is on the camera right there, or did he just set the camera up right there? And if he did, why would he even post that of himself?
Why?
Like, that's when you're really searching for likes,
Jackass,
I think. You're
reloaded,
yeah,
right?
you're really soccer version of Jackass, exactly. So we move on. Francisco, what do you have for us this week?
Well, you guys know me. For those of you who follow me on social media, you know I'm a cat guy. Have a little kitty, no kids, but I love my S2E. And when I saw this little fella running all over the field during the Leagues Cup match between RSL and Tigres, I just fell in love with the little guy. And you know what? He was running right next to Andre Pierre Gignac, and he's arguably the most talented forward in Liga MX.
For sure.
But this guy's holding its own. I mean, look at him. You know, he has speed, acceleration, runs good angles, he's sneaky, he gets into the area without any coverage. So I know we're stuck at the winger position, but for those of you teams looking for that kind of guy to run up and down the field throughout the flanks, can be your guy. He's on sign in Utah right now.
Do we know? Yeah. Do we know what his name was? Do we come up with
No
a name for that furry little guy?
Yet.
I'm gonna like it, but I don't approve of feline on feline crime against Tigres. You know, I just don't like to see that.
I am gonna like it as well, but I am gonna let the cat out of the bag. You see what I did right there? And Tigres absolutely put it on RSL in that game. Clearly, yes, it was a little bit of a mismatch there. So yeah, no, good stuff, X. And how about for you, Vince?
Shout out to my guy, Mark Anthony Kay, who had a great first pitch at the Dodgers game. I mean, it was a strike, which is saying more than Carlos Vela.
I saw him warming up, yeah.
But World Cup champion, Ali Long, this is the first pitch of the century. Juggles the ball a little bit and then throws a strike in there. I mean, you can't beat that. Mark, where's the juggling? I need a little juggling here.
I love Ali Long. She's great. But I'm gonna swipe past that one. And it's not because of Ali Long, and it's not because it's your pick. But had she juggled it twice and then kicked it toward the mound, then I would have been like, all right, okay, that's something there. But I don't know.
Look at those kicks.
Hey, she's always fresh. She's always fresh.
Yeah.
I think I was just getting
back. Can I have yours, please?
Yeah.
Well, you guys know me. I mean, I'm a baseball fan. And when I heard Mark Anthony Kay, I thought you were going with number 14. But at the same time, you know, I'm all about baseball. And you know what? I've tried to juggle. I mean, I've been playing baseball. I mean, played all my life. And I've tried to juggle that baseball with my feet. It's almost impossible. The time it really hits your thumb, you know, you're done, right? So, you know, it's impossible to play soccer with a baseball. So, you know, my props, kudos to her.
Combining the two things that I love, which are fails and something like this, I thought we were going to have like a Baba Booey on here. Like,
Nope.
The great Gary De Labate with his just pitch in the ground, or like, I think we even had another boxer just throw it at the screen in the back.
Remember Snoop Dogg?
Yes, or a 50 Cent. Yes. So the fails are obviously something that hit near and dear to my heart. I think that's going to do it. Social media showdown down, and hey, good job again this week, you guys. Happy to have you along to talk everything LAFC. Let's hope this team continues on the trend that they are on right now. Without question, the hottest team in Major League Soccer. We got a pretty good group right here, right? So we're doing it on and off the field. All right, for Francisco X Rivera, Vince LaRosa, I'm Mark Rogandino. Make sure you keep it right here on YouTube TV. You find all the best stuff when it comes to LAFC.
Vamos, LAFC. Vamos. Come with me, let me put you on. One time, take you to my home. Scoot, scoot. Come with me, let me put you on. Let me put you. One time, take you to my home.